Feathered serpent.
Due to the small size of the knife, I doubt it would harm such a large creature.
Thanks, Captain, but I can take care of myself. I finished second in my weight class in wrestling at the academy. You keep the knife.
I watched as you worked through the problems I set it. Please sit down.
You messed up in a big way. Perhaps you should try following the Prime Directive. It changed our lives.
Ours is an intensely curious race, Captain. My brothers and I have raised children on 1,000 worlds, loved them, watched them grow, only to see them become separated from us by the passage of time. It is a sad and lonely process, one which I shall not repeat again. I am no longer worthy of my gift.
You show great wisdom, sir, but your statement implies that you wish to change your condition.
Indeed. If my mission of peace was overthrown, then I am no longer worthy of my power. Tell me, has your species made progress in the medical arts?
With Dr. McCoy, I sometimes wonder, but yes, I would say we have made considerable advances.
Then I shall ask to make use of your advances. At the top of my spine is a...
Jim, I'll try.
You've got to do it, Bones. At the... Scotty, 5 to beam up.
Captain, 3 Klingon heavy battle cruisers have just entered the system. Admiral Kenka is hailing us, sir.
Federation starship, this is Admiral Blick Kenka of the Clearter. You harbor a criminal who has caused the destruction of the entire population of Rakor.
I cannot believe Quetzalcoatl's mission to Rakor would cause the deaths of the entire planet.
His attempt to corrupt the Empire with his philosophy led to the destruction of all life on Rakor.
How could a philosophy of peace and non-violence cause the destruction of all life on Rakor?
Rakor has been governed by my family for generations, but even they were corrupted by him. It was a matter of honor that his lies had to be silenced, no matter what the cost.
My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with? So you killed them, your own family. You were responsible for the deaths, not Quetzalcoatl. You murdered them. You're insane. Tell me, how much do your commanders know about what you did? Or do you need to kill Quetzalcoatl to hide your own deeds?
Captain, the weapons systems on all 3 cruisers have become active. Captain, it would not be wise to cross while the creature is near.
Captain, perhaps I should try to cross first.
It would appear that the planet...
Save new game. Replace...
I had a team. So I'll first. Yeah,
First, I have one question. You are clearly not the liars I thought you to be. You tell me the proof of my testicles. They became ruthless savages.
Federation is not
I sense proof of this. Perhaps these two fangs children of Green Bird from our court. They explain why they are certainly funny. I have clearly obtained the power that will deal me long ago.
You shall sir, but imply that you should change your opinion.
Indeed. If my vision of peace was a virtue, then I no longer worthy of my power. And has your progress in the medical arts?
Let's not get in far away.
Of course, how foolish that.
No, fine, but
Study 5 to be month.
Captain, 3 Klingon heavy battle. Admiral Kenka.
Federation Starship.
Admiral Vlicht, the criminal of whom you speak, I cannot believe Quetzalcoatl's mission to Rakur would cause the deaths of the entire planet.
His attempt to corrupt
How could a philosophy of peace...
Rakur has been governed.
My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with?
It was that creature's fault. Had he not interfered in our affairs, the people of Rakur would be alive. Clearly, he is responsible.
Message from Starfleet Command.
I'll argue this with you later, Vlicht.
Contact your superiors, Kirk. You may be surprised.
I have bad news, Captain. The Organians have ruled that Quetzalcoatl's interference in Klingon affairs renders him subject to Klingon law. You are to turn your prisoner over to them at Rakur. Klingon law will permit you to observe or aid in his defense. But be very careful, Jim. Starfleet out.
Captain, you cannot turn him over to those butchers. That would be murder.
We have no choice, Scotty. I'm afraid Quetzalcoatl has a date with Klingon justice. Set course for Rakur, Mr. Chekhov. Captain's log. We have come to the ruined Klingon planet of Rakur to deliver our guest, the mythical entity Quetzalcoatl, to a Klingon court. Dr. McCoy, Mr. Spock, and Ensign Benny and I have been granted permission by the Organians to witness this trial, which I expect to be a travesty of any meaningful definition of justice. Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
The prisoner and his witnesses will stand forth, so the trial may begin. So, Kirk, we finally meet. I had thought it would be in battle, but the universe holds many surprises.
Why does every Klingon tell me they expected to meet me in battle? You really have a one-track mind.
So be it! This begins the trial of the entity Quetzalcoatl, who is charged with impersonating a Klingon, stirring dissent, encouraging cowardice, and treason in the highest degree.
Those are serious charges, Vlicht. Should he not be tried by a Klingon high court?
He has not demonstrated honor, Kirk. Only a proven warrior may be tried in high court. Principles of honor are not applicable to his defense.
Oh, well, I'm afraid you're on your own, Quetzalcoatl.
I hereby sentence Quetzalcoatl to a coward's death. As for you, Kirk, I expected a more forceful response. I had heard you were a worthy opponent. Instead, I see a cringing coward. Leave this place, Kirk. You dishonor it.
Captain, message coming in from the Clearta.
My dear Captain Kirk, you will be pleased to know that your act of cowardice in returning to your ship in the middle of the trial has found a suitable reward. The traitor has been executed, and this unfortunate business has come to an end. I humbly invite you to leave Klingon space before I use your ship for target practice.
All channels closed, Captain.
Let us get out of here. Warp 3. Mr. Sulu, back to Federation space.
We have read your report on the problems at Rakur and evaluate your performance at 37%. You and your crew received 0 commendation points. I'll be frank, Kirk. Starfleet expects more of you than that. Try to do better on your next assignment.
So, Kirk, we finally meet. I had thought it would be in battle, but the universe holds many surprises.
There's nothing less appealing than a gloating Klingon flick. Let's get this trial underway.
So be it! This begins the trial of the entity Quetzalcoatl, who is charged with impersonating a Klingon, studying descent.
Those are serious charges, Flicked. Should he not be tried by a Klingon high court?
He has not demonstrated honor, Kirk. Only a proven warrior may be tried in high court. Principles of honor are not applicable to his defense.
Then this trial is a mockery for the entire galaxy to see.
How typical of the Federation to judge every other species as morally inferior. Your rhetoric is not welcome here.
I offered them insights into the philosophy of peace and cooperation. They chose to follow it of their own free will.
Quetzalcoatl, you encouraged the colony to destroy its weapons. You even encouraged them to hold their children from our traditional military ceremonies.
Children should not even play at war. To prepare them to kill is barbaric.
To counsel it is to counsel cowardice. To counsel it is to abandon all honor. This is treason for all to see. The penalty for treason in this system is death. Do you accept your sentence?
I have failed. Death is what I deserve.
He has admitted guilt. You have surrendered him to Klingon law. Can you deny that this was a fair trial?
Guess I can't argue with you. Pleasant conquests, Admiral.
I hereby sentence Quetzalcoatl to a coward's death. As for you, Kirk, I expected a more forceful response. I had...
You're going to kill this old man because he encouraged non-violence? The Federation cannot accept this.
Pacifism is utterly alien to our people. It would be as though he preached the doctrine of suicide in direct contradiction of the will to live. Honorable men thrive in war and conflict. Cowards seek to avoid conflict.
Then a Klingon can thrive on the conflict between his inner nature and his philosophy. Clearly the people of Frakur did that. This is a matter for a philosophical debate, not a trial. The state has no right to interfere in a person's conscience. Fine. Can we get this over with? I've got shore leave scheduled on Raza next week. Then a Klingon can thrive on the conflict between his inner nature and his philosophy.
The Klingon Empire will not tolerate dissent.
Then the Klingon Empire is wrong.
Only the greatest warriors of old could say such a thing and expect to live. Do you think yourself worthy enough to walk in their footsteps?
I'm James T. Kirk. I'm more worthy than you'll ever be, and I have girlfriends on 50 planets who will vouch for that.
Ha ha! You have never encountered Klingon women, Captain. But that was the response of a true warrior. You have earned my respect. I shall give you and your companions a chance to defend the traitor.
What is this place?
Not much is known about Frakur, Ensign. This would appear to be some sort of a mining installation.
A test of courage? That is the Klingon way.
I somehow doubt that Vlicht intends for us to survive this, whatever the outcome. We're the only thing that stands between him and the killing of Quetzalcoatl that he can justify.
Why should he worry about justification, Captain? He's a Klingon. Murder is as natural to them as breathing.
That's not true, Ensign. However, I suspect that Blick's attack on Frakur exceeded his orders. He needs Quetzalcoatl as a scapegoat, and he needs a fair trial to avoid an inquiry of his own actions.
And our deaths will be the only way he can get it. Great!
Captain, I have calculated the odds of surviving this at...
Shut up, Spock.
Why do I have the feeling that I am about to have a bad day?
You've handled those Klingons well, sir. We've got them on the run now.
How could you do it, Jim? I spent hours trying to save his life, and you just gave him away in seconds to the Klingons.
I refuse, Captain, on the grounds that it might eliminate me.
The odds of surviving contact with the creature are too small to calculate.
Do you know what 10 million volts can do to a man? It can ruin his whole damn day.
Uhura, prepare to receive a tricorder message. There is a door with an entry coder here. Try to analyze the circuits and let the main computer crack the code.
Scan complete. Main computer has the code. We also read an anomaly. Something else has tapped into the key code. Shall I analyze?
Affirmative, Uhura.
We have a secondary code that is nested in the Klingon program. Computer is unable to analyze its function. Shall we broadcast it to you when you activate the keypad?
Affirmative.
Good luck, Captain.